What's up, Yoda Tech? Chef Yoda 4x4. Trying to, well, I did actually just replace this. I wish I had gotten video first. I can show you, as you can see, that I cleaned up all the internals. I'm about to grease this area where there was clearly grease before, here and here, and all the clips. I also wanted to show, which I got pictures of, when you lock the door, that is the mechanism that's engaged. Okay? Right here. So there's got to be a way to trip this switch, which is what I've been hearing. There's a green connector. The wire appears to be black. Actually appears to be all black, solid black. So, not sure. But as you can see from the photos that I provided, I replaced this with a second generation 4Runner cable, and this is obviously not a second gen. Okay, so they're exactly the same, all the internals except for the glass, from what I've read. I'm not even positive on that, but I would assume that's probably right, because the top is much different. I think the window's much smaller. So basically, you remove the two panels off of the back gate, which is, first you remove this, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 screws that hold these on, and then you remove the metal plate. My metal plate is very bent up and angled. I'm assuming that's from gear pushing up against it and everything. I'm going to try and straighten that out. And I looked as well at something Terry had told me. Terry's 87. And you can see that connector in there. I don't have a flashlight on it, unfortunately. I'll use my drill light here to show you. There, you can see. That connector is in its clips, actually. So that's not what's been scratching my window. I think it's just, the seal is all tweaked and sits on top of the glass in spots, and I'm eventually going to have to find, one day I'll get lucky and I'll find a good one at Pick Your Part or something. The seal that I got for Terry, by the way, comes off here, and then has to carefully be pried off of all the little pop clips all the way around. And if you go to a junkyard, you could probably find one. This, I would imagine, if you don't keep this sealed, could cause serious damage to the internals of your window, the cable, the actual latch itself and such. And you'll see by the pictures that I took this one apart, or removed this one. Actually, you have to get the cable released from this one. Undo these 3 screws. I pulled it out and removed that apparatus in there, the latch. Pop this off right here. Okay, and then you have play to turn the latch fastener inside of there and remove the key, which is exactly the same as one of these. So you need to be able to have enough play to turn it and slide it out of this slot right here. So now I've replaced this cable on this side, and you can see that it is fully latching and releasing. And the third part of this is actually when this thing locks onto the eyelet right here, whatever that's called, the bracket, the latch bracket that holds that on. I've had trouble with these, as you can see, getting these out. I thought, before I learned all this, I thought from Terry and others, I thought that this, maybe this needed to be adjusted right here. Now I know it does. There's no adjustment at all. This is where it is, period. And that's that. So it does help, I guess, to have this greased. I greased this as well with white lithium grease, and then on the inside I used some Toyota axle grease that I had left over. I didn't want to use the black one. I used the other one that's on the, I guess you'd call it the tripod joint in the CVs. So I'm going to grease all of these here, and any mechanism that moves, basically, and including this, the lock part, which was like this. So it goes off of this cable right here, and then attaches to this. So I'll grease underneath this And I used a long Q-tip with some of this grease. First shot it with silicone on the latch part right here. This is going to be a little more, I'll be a little more careful because I don't want to spray a bunch of stuff in here and get it all over the window. Then I will grease this portion of the gear as well. And I'm pretty sure that's what you hear when the window's rolling up and it's going squeaking away. That's part of it. I cleaned the motor. You'll see from the pictures, this was all just covered in crap. And I think partially because, like I said, that steel cover got caved in and was allowing dirt and dust in from the thing. And I went four-wheeling several times with the top off. So you want to have, this helps to have an electric drill on hand to pop the cover off and all these screws, you know, and then pop the metal cover off. Was just, I think, 3 screws holding it on, or 5 maybe. I had some of this stuff, just a foaming bathroom cleaner, and sprayed it on the rag, and then cleaned down the all around here. Pulled this up a bit, used a shop vac, cleaned everything out I could inside the glass and all that. And then I realized when we're replacing this foam, it's going to create a lot more dust. So I'll do it again and clean it all up, grease it up, button it up, and I'm good to go. I'm actually going to replace this cable as well, even though it seems okay. It's showing that black residue from the interior of this as well. But it is moving. Oh, this is locked. Okay. Unlocked. There. Now that it's unlocked, it will allow me, when it's locked, I pull this, and this is not engaged right here. When I lock it, when I unlock it, actually, that slides forward, this pin, so I'm going to grease this as well. So when I unlock it, that slides forward and allows this to all be engaged, the cables and the rest of that arm. So like a T, like a cross. So I'll grease this as well. I can see where all kinds of residue grease was. So now you can see this cable's moving, but you can also see when I pull it out a little of that black residue there, which is actually, I believe, just grease and a bunch of crap that's coated up in there, and probably also parts of this that have just caved in on the inside. Now, this one, the replacement, this side, this cable is much longer, about 6 inches longer than the other one. And the other one, as you can see, is in a little bit better shape. When I pull it out, in and out there, it's moving freely. But what I'm going to do, which is another tip I wanted to show on video, just in case it helps people a little more. Sorry, a little bit of shakiness there. What I'm going to do here is take this cable, and these little rubber pieces right here, you can actually pop off. I'm going to make sure you can see this. Okay. It's not very good lighting here, but you can actually pop these off like that. And once you pop that off, you can actually get some silicone. I wouldn't put any heavier than that, not even the white spray grease. Just use some silicone lubricant, spray it in there, pop the other side off as well, and I just kind of squeeze it and work it off. Be careful if it's real brittle, because it will, you know, bust up, and then you got a piece of junk in a few months. So you pry the other side off as well. And now I've got both sides off, and this side's a little kinked here. I'm going to fix that. Looks like a little bit of a kink here at the end, so I want to try and straighten that out. Looks pretty straight. So basically going to shoot this with silicone, which is some Valvoline Pyrolyl silicone lubricant. I use this as a well, any silicone lubricant, like 4Runner says, to put in the dash pot, to lube the dash pot, and many other things that you don't want a heavier grease in. So I take this and basically just stick the straw. Oops. Yeah, something like that always happens, doesn't it? Stick the straw in there, right into that fitting right there. And shoot a little grease down there. It'll also help. The silicone stuff I found also kind of helps clean it a little bit, but wow, it just instantly made it super easy to move this now. So, and then on the other side, I'll take a Q-tip. Once I get all the crap out of there, I'm going to, excuse me, I almost swore there. I'm going to shoot it one more time. And that just gives enough to fill the tube there, and then it comes out the other side. You can see it dripping off the end here. Okay, so just keep working it, and then unbelievable. I mean, it moves, and I would twist it as well as you're moving it in and out. And one thing I did notice they're the same mechanics inside the tailgates, first gen and second gen 4Runner, but this strip of foam right here, which is fixed on here kind of with a little adhesive, I think, because I had the trouble with the other one, but it's in a different location, at least on the longer cable, so I might have to move this one as well, but so far it's working. But look at this. I don't even have to barely touch it, and it drops down on its own. So now I have that strong cable that'll be fixed with this. Dang flies, man, they know as soon as you're busy. And I'll work this into that a little bit as well. Okay, so that side's in, and I'll move this side back in. Okay, now that the seal's on, it'll move a little bit, have a little bit more difficulty moving. Not really difficulty, but you know what I mean. It's tighter around the cable. But what the cable does, or the seal does, is it actually guides it straight. So this should move really simply throughout all of it now, and I'll be able to replace both sides of the cable. This one will go right here in place of this one right here, and I just basically have to do the same thing. I have to move this one, and I believe this is the green wire that someone was speaking about in regards to tapping into. If you add a dome light to this cover right here, you could tap into the safety lock portion of this on this connector, and then you have a light come on anytime you unlock the door. So if you roll your window down in the back to get groceries in here and unlock the door, the second you unlock the door, that safety thing is going off, and so that you're able to, unlock the door. It's got to know that the window is down, and once the window's down, it allows you to unlock it. You notice probably, obviously, that you can't unlock this door until you get the window all the way down. So another thing I do if I'm going to pull the top, I hate that back door light that's on my dash. So I know there's another way to disconnect it now. I've learned that, but what I did before was I just rolled the window up slightly, like a, eighth of an inch, not even to coming out of the seal here, and the light would go off. And then I would unplug it, and I would no longer have that back door light on when I have the top off. So, all right. I believe also what I realized later is that I think if you just lock the door once you have the top off, that light goes off. So, you learn things as you go. I never wanted to take this apart, and now I've completely taken it apart, greased it. I'm going to grease it up, repair it as much as possible, and hopefully I'll have a lot smoother running back window, and the back door latch on this side will actually lock onto here. Because at this point, it doesn't even lock. So, it doesn't even latch. Alright, that's it. I will come back with more once it's complete and show you that it's working.